Right. So it says we are live. Let me go ahead and pull it up on Facebook. So guys, hello if you are seeing us. All right. Oh, thanks. Yes, I'm back. I guess you are seeing us. Perfect, guys. Hold on one second while I pull it up on my phone. Just it's good to be able to see you guys in there.
I see us.
People coming in through the bot
On Facebook.
All right, here. All right, so guys, we are going to hop in. As you can see, I've got someone new next to me today, and let me
Hello.
go with this. So let me do a proper introduction. Some of you know her, some of you do not. But for those of you who don't know her, this is Amber DeBruin, and I am so excited that Amber is here, and you guys are going to too because she is just incredible when it comes to online marketing. She is actually a full-time travel nurse. She has been, she's actually Canadian, but she works here in the US as a travel nurse and has worked all over and is actually getting ready now to go on to Seattle because she's going to be helping out with COVID. So prayers to keep her safe on that front line. But she's been in network marketing for a little over 2 years. And she built her business 100% online. And guys, she has mastered, lead generation, ads on Facebook, stories, you name it. She has really just got the tools and knowledge and everything it takes. So you are in luck today to get her knowledge here. And go check her out on her fan page as well. So if you're new to the group here, and she does some great trainings there. So first of all, just want to so welcome, Amber. Thank you for joining us.
Well, wow, thank you for that introduction. That I feel like I'm on cloud 9 right now, so thanks for that.
You're so welcome, and it's so well deserved. And I just want to give a shout out here. So Melanie, thanks for watching, and happy birthday, Melanie. I know today's your birthday. Let's see here. We've got Ruben and Gustavo and Marion and Linda and Pat and Gayla and Darcy, Marlene, Ruth, Kelsey, Wilma, Karen, Deidre. Oh my gosh, we have so many people. Jenny, thank you guys all for joining us today. We're so excited to have you here. So today we're going to talk about something that we've not talked about in a while, and that is the power of Facebook stories. And I think, you'll know, when we talked about this last time, we said, how stories are really going to be taking over, that the news feed's going to be going away at some point. But I know there's still a lot of people who are not utilizing stories. And, if you're really wanting to build your business online, stories are the new thing. Amber, what do you have to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, I've recently done a few trainings on my own page, as Trish mentioned, about this exact topic, because stories really are the hottest tool right now to be using on social media. So, especially when we say social media specifically, we're really referring to Facebook and Instagram. Obviously stories, actually, I believe originated on Snapchat and did really, really well. So Facebook adopted it, Instagram adopted it, because if you don't already know, Facebook actually owns Instagram. So I'm excited to be here because this is something that I've actually, in conversations that I've been chatting with a lot of people who have actually told me that they have no idea how to use it. Never mind what kind of content to post on their stories. They actually just aren't even really sure how to go about posting a story. So, what we love to do here inside of our community is provide training for you guys so you don't have to spend the time to go and look it up and find out all the resources. We want to be that resource for you. So I'm really excited that Trish asked me to be here today. I've been using stories for probably actually over a year now, before they were even really talked about much, because, as entrepreneurs, we have to stay on top of the trends and what's happening. So I'm just so excited to be here today to be that resource to share with you guys, to save you the time of having to go and find out all the information. And yeah, stories are really, really, like Trish said, the way of the future. Like I said, the hottest tool to use on social media today. So, we're going to talk a lot more about them in our training today, but there's some really amazing benefits. You can do so much with them. They're really fun. They're easy. They're quick. And if you're busy, like most of us are, even in COVID times, we're looking for quick, easy to consume, micro digestible content. So
absolutely. Yeah. Well, perfect. So we're going to hop right in, and Ruth is actually away. She is spending time with her daughters this weekend, so that's why Amber is on with us. So let's go ahead and hop in. All right, so we are going to hop in here. Hang on 1 second as I get my screen the way we need it. All right, so guys, did you know, like I mentioned before, that Facebook stories are going to dominate our newsfeed very soon. And so for those of you who are used to that traditional newsfeed, it's supposed to be going away. And Amber, do you have any other insight that you know about that?
Well, like I said, Facebook is always adapting and changing. And so for us to keep up with the times and make sure that we're using the tools that they want us to use, excuse me, we need to always be on top of that. So like Trish said, the news feed eventually, I have no idea when this might happen, but it is going to go away. So you really want to use this time now while we still have both, to get familiar with stories and really just start using them, because that's really the only way you're going to get comfortable with anything that's new. So I would say use the time now and really get comfortable and confident using them, because when that day comes that the news feed goes away, you don't want to be left, scrambling and going, I have no idea what I'm doing here. So yeah, I don't know when it's going to happen. Okay. I don't have that insight, but when and if we do, we will share it with you guys.
Awesome. Well, guys, the other thing is, more importantly, is that you can use Facebook stories to build your business more effectively. And that's what we're going to be talking a lot about today. And I know that Amber has a lot of experience with this piece as well, and has, generated a lot of business, doing it this way. So we're going to go into that.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about what are they, right? What are Facebook stories? Because as I mentioned previously, in my conversations recently, I've actually found out a lot of people have no idea. So Facebook stories, they're really multi-purpose. They're visual, a way to share, like I said, easy, quick, micro, fast, easy to consume content. So it's visual, which people love, right? It's a really great way to build that know, like, and trust factor with your audience through visual posts. So you can do so many different things with stories. You're able to share things like photos, videos, animations, polls, texts, music, all kinds of stuff. You can even share an image with music, or, combine a couple of these features as well. So what's unique about stories is that they're only available for 24 hours. So each individual story shows for 15 seconds on the screen. And then the stories that you post are good for 24 hours from the time that you post them. So whatever I posted yesterday before 11 a.m. is now going to be gone. Okay, there is an archive where I can see my previous stories, but as far as everyone else is concerned, they're only good for 24 hours. So very similar to Instagram stories, in many ways, they only last for 24 hours. So, for example, on Instagram, the comments don't show in a feed when people respond to your stories. Instead, they're actually sent directly into Messenger. So that's been a really, really great tool that I've been using, as Trish mentioned, to really get into conversations and start building my business and continuously be networking and building new friendships and connections with people.
And I love how you mentioned that about the fact that the comments come to your Messenger, right? And the same thing on Instagram, it goes to your direct message, because now it's opened up for you to have a conversation with that person, right? So they've commented to you. It's a perfect way for you to be able to comment back to them in a very non-spammy way. But what also happens is, once you start having conversations in Messenger, it's going to guarantee the next time you make a post that it's going to show up in that person's newsfeed. And that's pretty incredible. So loving that.
A lot of great features come from that. And the other really cool piece about the Messenger, going into Messenger conversations rather than, in the news feed, when somebody comments on your post, everybody can see it. It's public, right? Everyone can see that conversation. So what I love about these stories is, if you're really intentional and you post questions and stuff that's going to get people into your Messenger, you're automatically having a more intimate conversation. It's one-on-one, right? So you can dig a little bit deeper. You can get into their pains and their struggles and really dig deep with people, because it's more intimate and it's one-on-one and it's private, right? And that's really what Facebook wants, is they're trying to really create this sense of community and engagement and have people having conversations rather than just doing a like on a post.
Love it. So guys, if this is exciting to you, obviously give us some love hearts, but also just wanting to know who is using stories. So if you are using stories, drop a me below so that we know that you are using it. I just want to welcome, we have a few more people on here. We've got Patricia and Ed and Lindsay, and let's see here, and Wendy. Thanks guys so much for hopping on. Trisha is on here as well, and Nikki. So thanks so much for hopping on, guys. All right, so why Facebook stories are great for business. And Amber touched on a couple of these, but just want to give you a little bit more. So first of all, when it comes to organic reach, it's hard sometimes, to be able to get your stuff out there because Facebook has changed the algorithm so many times, right? And in 2018, Facebook changed its newsfeed to prioritize meaningful interactions. So making it hard for businesses to really get organic reach on Facebook. So using stories, it's going to allow you to get your stuff out there a little bit more, not only through your business page, but through your personal profile story as well. So like Amber was also saying, Facebook has focused on communities and the user experience. So it limits the posts that are less personalized. So if you aren't, you'll notice, like if you do a post like on a trip or something, like, we were just on vacation, I'm posting family photos and things like that. They were getting tons of reach, tons of comments, tons of likes, tons of shares. So another training that we do, teaches you how to make your business post more like that same story. So you're going to get that same interaction, but now you can also do it through stories, and you can really be putting as much little micro content pieces out there as possible through your actual stories. And because of the fact that they disappear in that first 24 hours, there's that fear of missing out, right? The FOMO. So people are checking them out. They're clicking through. They want to see what you're doing. So you can be blending personal with business in those stories. So it's not all business. It's not all personal. It's really a combination. But a lot of this has come about just because businesses really had to find a more creative way and an effective way to grow on social media without doing just paid ads, because paid ads work great, but not everybody wants to do paid ads or can afford to do paid ads. So this is another way. And personally, I know Amber's the same. We do both. We do a lot of organic and we do paid. And so it's just, really another strategy that's going to help you out. Stories also make things fun, right? It's a fun way for brands to develop it, for content to look more personalized, and also to receive a considerable amount of attention from users. And that's what's really cool, because when you open up your Facebook, whether it be on the desktop or whether it be on your phone, stories are what you see first, right? It's that thing that goes right across the top. So people are clicking on them. They want to see, what's going on. I posted one the other day, and I definitely got a lot of responses from people. We were in Yosemite, and we had a bear cross in front of us on the trail. And so I just did a story, and I showed a bear doing like backflips behind Rob. But crazily, we were walking down the trail, and next thing I know, I see my daughter Lindsay coming back, almost running. I'm like, what? She goes, there's a bear. There's a bear. And I'm like, really? And so I just kind of stood there for a minute, because I'm like, well, how far away is this bear? And then we saw him come jumping across the trail. So it was really pretty cool. But needless to say, she was like hightailing it back to the car. It was funny. She's like, I wanted to see one, but from the car, not in person. Yeah.
That's funny.
But anyway, stories make it a way to make it fun and personalize it. And stories offer brands the opportunity to, once again, get in front of their audiences with great content and offers. And again, because you're blending it with your personal and your business, and in the way that you can use them and make them fun, people are seeing them. And when people are commenting, like I said, it definitely is going to put it so that next time your stuff will show up in their newsfeed, which is really cool. So do you have anything you want to add to that, Amber?
Yeah, something you said, that it's the first thing people see, which is so true. So both on the desktop view and on your mobile phone, you'll notice when you first log into Facebook, it's right at the top, right? So it's prime real estate. And the great thing as well, if you are a business and you're trying to grow a team or your business or whatever that looks like online, it's free, right? Stories is a free way that you can advertise. So it's prime real estate. It's at the top of the the whole entire app, really, right? It's right the first thing you see, and it's free. So, I mean, you're seriously missing out if you're not using the stories, especially if you're a business, because I mean, it doesn't get any better than free and prime real estate, you know? So I also would love to just shout out, we've got a couple people that are saying they're using them, a couple people saying they need to start and that they're loving this training. So Kelsey says, me just warming up to them. Gayla says, love this. Linda's using them. Brittany's using them. Angela, Marlene, Nicole, Wilma, Gustavo, Gayla is just starting to use them. Karen, Lindsay. Oh boy, I don't know how to say this name. Anik, and I'm so sorry. I'm totally butchering your name. Whitney's using them. Gayla asked, when someone looks but doesn't comment, is it appropriate to connect with them? My personal opinion on that would be no.
Yeah.
It's the same as a post, right? If someone comments on your post, it's more appropriate to comment back, or even go into Messenger and say, hey, I really appreciate your engagement on my post, or your comment or whatever, and kind of start a conversation that way. But if they're just looking, they're not engaged enough yet to have a conversation. So just let them watch. They're going to watch you. I promise people are watching. And the cool thing about stories is that you can actually see who is watching and how many people are looking at your stuff every day. So I would say, and I don't know, Trish, how do you feel about that? Do you think the same way?
I feel exactly the same way. Yeah, you definitely shouldn't be reaching out. It's just like somebody liking a post, right?
Exactly.
They acknowledge it. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, they're not, if they wanted to know information, they would be reaching out, or they would comment, or they would do something. So absolutely. All right.
Yeah, Kelsey even says, you know, I rarely scroll through Instagram. I only watch the stories. So it just goes to show that that's how people are, you know, really consuming content. So.
And I'll tell you, that's the thing that I do too. It's right there. You click on it, it's like, oh, what are they up to today?
Yeah.
Right? That's what it is. Yeah. And on Instagram, my daughter was telling me that the algorithm has changed slightly, and Instagram only wants you doing posts in your actual feed about 3 times a week, but you can do unlimited stories. Yeah. So, you know, when you're, you know, just to know, if you're trying to do a daily post over there, they're actually going to start blocking some of your content. You know, but you can do as much as you want through stories or Instagram TV, things like that. So, you know, definitely some of the things to be, you know, staying up with. All right. So next, we're going to talk a little bit about why you should be using the Facebook stories. And we've covered it some, but the biggest thing is Facebook stories are at your audience's fingertips. Again, they're right at the top of the feed, right? And so it's literally right in their face. If they're coming onto Facebook, they're going to be looking at those stories. The other thing is that competition here is not as fierce. So if you're someone who is building online, you know that being able to stand out in the newsfeed is kind of hard. But with stories, because you can personalize them and make them fun, you really can stand out a little bit more there. And not everybody is using them yet. You know, you're going to find more business people using them really probably than just individual people. And so you're just, you know, you're not competing with as many people to get your content seen. The other thing is that you can personalize your stories, right? So when you do this, you can personalize it in a way that it doesn't feel so much like you're selling to somebody, right? It's more of a friend offering value versus a brand being sold. And, you know, that's a big difference, because people don't want to feel like they've been sold to. People don't come to Facebook to buy, even though they buy. That's not the reason that they use Facebook. They use it to communicate, to have that sense of community, to really be able to engage, and to, let's be honest, to be nosy to see what other people are up to, right? Like, they're curious, and that's why they're there. They're not there necessarily to buy. So it's another way. Stories can grow a following that can be retargeted. And that's pretty cool, especially with your business page. You know, you've got all these different insights that you can use, but when it's time to go into ads, you get to choose different things. So, I mean, there's a million things that we could name off, but you can use this as a way to retarget, which is really cool. And the other thing is you can be cross-posting with Instagram and Facebook, which is great. So if, you know, usually I go to Instagram and have it post to Facebook for me. But you can do that so you don't have to double the work, right? You can actually just do it one time. It goes to both places if you have your things connected. And again, when someone comments or replies, it goes straight into Messenger. So think about this. Are these, when you're thinking about your perfect prospect of people who you're targeting, how important is it that if someone actually replies to you, right? I mean, that's what we're looking for. And now knowing a lot of people won't comment necessarily on a post because they don't want other people to see what they've commented. But when someone comments on a story, because it takes it straight into a messenger conversation, it keeps it private. And people like that. People want that privacy. They don't want other people knowing, what they're curious about sometimes. So those are all just really great reasons that you should be using this for your business. Do you have anything you want to add, Amber? Or?
Nope.
Nope.
I think you got that one.
Perfect.
So Facebook stories really can be tracked in two different ways. Okay, so you've got your individual stories, which are just an active story that you can see who has viewed or reacted to your story. That's all it's going to tell you, just who it is that saw it, and if people reacted, it'll show the reaction that they gave you, and obviously if they commented, you now have them in a messenger conversation. The other way that you can track your Facebook stories is by using Facebook Insights. So on your desktop, you can actually view your page insights to see even more detailed information than you can from just the individual stories. So that's more of an advanced strategy, a little bit more on the business side of things. So if you don't have a business page, don't worry about that piece because it's not going to apply to you right now. So, if you are running a business page and a personal page, you're going to want to pay attention to the insights on your business page stories. And if you're using just on your personal page, make sure that you are looking to see who is constantly engaging, because another really great thing about stories that you can see who's liking them and commenting or reacting to them is that, if you see someone for, let's say, like 2 or 3 weeks straight, or even a month straight, they're looking at your content, they're reviewing it, and they're maybe not engaging quite yet. They haven't commented on anything, but they're liking and they're really consistent. That's someone who might be a great prospect for you to start having a conversation with, because they've made it clear that they're consistently following your stuff, right? And so if you're kind of concerned or worried or wondering how to get in conversations with people to start talking about your product or your opportunity, having those conversations, I would recommend really starting to pay attention, maybe even keep a spreadsheet or, just write them down in a notebook somewhere of the names that you see that keep coming up. Because I personally, what I notice is, there's a lot of people that I don't even, they're my friends on Facebook, but I don't know them personally on a physical level. And so for those people, sometimes I have a harder time remembering who they are. But if I write their name down and they keep coming up over and over again, it kind of reminds me, hey, this person's been, at least somewhat interested in what I'm doing, or at least nosy enough, like Trish mentioned, being curious to want to know what I'm doing, right? So that's a higher qualified prospect right off the bat than someone who's just not even looking at your stuff.
Yeah, that's such a great point. I love it. So guys, if it's making sense to you, say yes below. All right, drop us a yes below. And I love that, because that is, when I'm thinking about who to reach out to next, it is a lot of we're paying attention to who's looking at the content. Because like Amber said, if they're, over and over and over, people watching, then they're obviously right. So I don't know, do you hear a little back, Amber?
A little bit, yeah.
I'm starting to echo. I'm not sure. Okay. All right. Well, let's move on. It kind of went away, so that's good. All right. So how to use Facebook stories? Well, the cool thing is there's a bunch of different ways. Facebook has a lot of different features that you can use when doing your stories. So one, you can use a text. What that means is you're literally just typing in some text. You're typing in a message of some sort. Two, you can do selfies. The really cool thing about the selfies is you can also add in a bunch of animation, right? So you can you take the picture of yourself. You can be putting in something cool, like you can be putting in a nice motivational quote, or you can do some kind of little meme in there that's bouncing around. You can use different words, but Facebook has some where it'll scroll them differently or flip them around or do something that's going to catch somebody's eyes when they're kind of flipping through to get their attention. You can be doing the text with pictures, like I said. You can do videos. You can do storytelling. And Amber, correct me, if you do just a straight up video, it's 15 seconds. Is that right? But if you do more, it breaks it into multiple sections.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. And because I know in the very beginning, you could only just do that 15 seconds. And, but I know they've made some changes with that. But the great thing is, if you've got something you want to talk about, you could do some storytelling in there. I did some videos the other day of going by a waterfall, just some cool sights that we saw. I put some in there. You can do a boomerang, which is always fun. I love doing those, especially with my kids. They think it's pretty cool, and it definitely looks fun, and people like those. And then you can do polls, and polls are nice for business because if you're trying to come up with content, or you're trying to find out some information about your audience, you can put a poll up there. And you can customize the questions on that poll as well, or the answers that people can choose. You can customize that. So just a lot of cool features. And Amber's going to be doing a demo here in just a minute, showing you guys a couple things. But just, some kind of cool things that you can do with it to really kind of do your own research as well, to figure out what content people are looking for. All right.
Yeah, so some content ideas for Facebook stories. And guys, if you want to, this will be available for a replay. You can watch it anytime. But if you want to screenshot this particular slide, I would recommend doing that because it's a really great, resource to have. If you're stuck, you're really not sure what you want to post on your stories, you're just really not sure. This is going to be helpful for you. So, again, if you've got a new product launching, or even for an example today, I actually just right before, about 20 minutes before we jumped on this training, I actually went ahead and took a picture of our slide with my phone. Like I took a picture of my computer screen and, just cropped the image and then just put it on my stories. And so, this isn't necessarily a new product launch, but it's a new training, right? So I put a little story on my stories that said, live webinar today in 20 minutes, this is what we're talking about. And just to give people that heads up, people that are inside of our group that are following me, they can reach out to me and ask how to get the information. So, it doesn't have to necessarily be a new product launch, because I know for a lot of us, we're not launching products, right? We're not making our own products at this point. But if you've got a training or something that you're excited about, go ahead and share that. Share a picture of it. I often take photos of our team trainings in the morning, right? Or our team huddles, and just show that we show up every morning as a sense of community, as how we motivate our team every single morning, right? Because that's unique. That's not something that everybody has. So using those kinds of ideas will be helpful as well. Behind the scenes footage. Again, I know a lot of us right now are kind of thinking, well, gosh, if I'm taking pictures of my day, it's going to be really boring, right? Because we're not doing anything right now. We're home, right? So, but people love to see behind the scenes, right? So, take a picture of yourself working. Just even take a selfie. I'm sitting here with my computer. I could sit here and take a selfie like this, and people would see my ring light and my computer and all the stuff that I have as a sort of behind the scenes thing. So it's really something simple. Even just taking a picture of what you're working on your desktop from your phone. Really, really simple to share. Holiday messages or offers, special events, customer praise, right? So if you have a customer who has just made a big order, or maybe it was a surprise order or something like that, shout them out. People love to be recognized, right? So shout them out, tag them. That's another really cool feature in stories we haven't talked about yet, is you can actually tag people in your stories, right? And you do it the same way as you would in a post. You just do the little @ sign and then type their name, and they'll be tagged and they'll get a notification that they've been tagged, right? And so how cool would it be to get a notification on your Facebook as a customer who just ordered something, saying that your sponsor or your upline or your whoever you're ordering from, shouted you out because you made an order, right? That would be awesome for a lot of people. So sharing that praise with your customers, how-to videos, right? So you could do a quick, like Trish mentioned, you can record a video and it will be split up into those 15-second segments, but you can have multiple 15-second segments, excuse me, with a video that's maybe, 2 minutes long, right? So I could create a really fast how-to video on exactly what we're talking about right now, how to actually post a story, and share my screen and show people how to do it, and voila, I have a story and then how-to video, and I'm now educating people and giving them value, right? So another thing, like Trish talked a lot about, is lifestyle posts. So again, things you're doing throughout your day. If you're traveling somewhere, take some pictures, right? If you're in the car, take some pictures in the car. Get used to taking pictures of what you're doing, and just sort of create this gallery in your phone where on the days you're not doing stuff, which is probably a lot right now, you have this sort of gallery to choose from, right? Because your stories don't have to be real time. They don't have to be from today or even from yesterday. You could share a lifestyle picture from last summer when you were on a boat or something and say, throwback, or, I'm dreaming of being here again soon, or something like that, right? Share about your lifestyle, things that you like to do and what's going on in your life, so that people can also get to know a little bit more about you as a human, right? Who you are, what are your interests, what do you like to do in your free time? Music, there's an option. And again, Trish mentioned, I'm going to be sharing my phone screen here in a little bit with you guys and showing you guys actually how to do the stories and a couple different features. And music is one of them, right? Music is universal language. Everybody loves it. Everybody gets lit up with music. It doesn't matter where you come from in the world. Everybody loves it. So that is a super awesome thing to include. What I personally do all the time, I'm living in Colorado right now. We've got beautiful sunsets almost every night here. And something I love to do is take a picture of the sunset and put some music to it, right? Super simple. It literally takes me 20 seconds to do it. And then we've got something special that we want to have you stay tuned here for. So stay tuned here with us to the end to get our 21 bulletproof Facebook story ideas. Super exciting.
Yeah. And I just want to add something you said there, Amber. One thing that's really cool about doing the stories is that if you have a business page, you can be allowed people to see your life a little bit more, right? So you can post some personal stuff on your business stories. It's going to give people that sneak peek, that behind the scenes. So this isn't just for personal profile, it is for your business stories as well. All right. And let's see here. Oops. Oh, I'm clicking on the wrong screen. 1 second. Okay. So some ways to customize and make your stories a little bit more fun. So one, like we mentioned before, you're able to add some effects and animation. That's really cool because it's going to be eye-catching to people when they're looking. It's going to, so instead of just having a picture or just having some words up there, you've got something in the background that's got some sort of animation. It's going to, really draw people's attention to it. You can get creative with, some 3D drawing with different things with it, and really just get creative. This is an area, like, I'm working on being more creative. Because I see some stories out there that are just super incredible. And so just really challenging myself to get a little more creative with some of mine. You can add stickers and GIFs. I'm really not sure. I hear everybody say it differently. And emojis, right? You can be adding those to them. So again, making them a lot of fun, really customizing them and personalizing them. You can be adding text to the story. You can use the drawing tool on there. You can be tagging friends, like Amber said. And the really cool thing when you tag people as well is it'll give them the option. Now, I think it depends on which version of Facebook you have, first of all. And I know it does on Instagram, but depending on the version of Facebook you have, when someone tags you, it gives you the option to post that on your story. So you can see that that you were tagged, and you've got the option to actually, put that same story post into your story post, which is pretty cool. All right. Do you have anything you want to add to that, Amber, or before you go into your demo?
I don't think so. Nope.
Okay, perfect. So Amber's going to show us real quickly how to post a story. She's going to do a little screen share with her phone. And then we're going to go into some details because we got something super cool coming for you. So make sure you stay tuned. We are going to help you all be masters at Facebook stories. All right, so bear with us as she loads this up. And I see it. Do you need me to add it, or will it let you add it?
Can you guys see it? Can you see my screen?
No, let me see if I can add it on there, Amber. Hold on.
Okay, I can see it on mine, but.
There we go. We got you now.
Working?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, so guys, I'm just totally geeking out right now. Can I just say that? Because I just think this is so cool that I can share my phone screen on my computer. I'm really easy to please.
I love it.
So this is actually a training I did live on my page last night. So I'm super excited to share this with you guys again because it got a really great response. And like I said, you know, there's a lot of people out there that just really don't know how to actually even use the stories feature. So I know we've talked a lot about the actual content and things you can post on your stories. And like we said, we've got a special gift if you hang out with us until the end here. But really, you've got to know how to use it first, right? The content doesn't matter if you have no idea what you're doing. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a couple of the features and really just spend a couple minutes showing you how to actually create a story. Okay, so you know, you can see on my phone here. So I'm going to click on the Facebook app. Okay, and then I'm actually going to go actually, let me close this quickly. There we go. Okay, so you can see when I open my Facebook app, this right here is the stories feature. So it's right at the top. It's big, they're pretty large, and they're the first thing that people see, right? So you can see here, these are my two stories. So I've got my personal page here and my business page. What I tend to do is I actually use the same content on my personal page and my business page, because something that I've really struggled with in my journey is really getting more personal on my business page and getting more business on my personal, and trying to really sort of marry those two together a little better rather than keeping, you know, my personal just on my personal and my business just on my business. So this stories tool has been really helpful for me in terms of really being able to share a little bit more of, like I said, business on my personal and personal on my business. So I do typically use the same content throughout both of my pages. Now, I know a lot of you don't have a business page. That's totally fine. Just use them on your personal page. That's a perfect place to get started. So what you're going to do is, you can see right here on the far left-hand side, it says add to story with my profile picture here, right? So everybody will have that feature. So you just want to click on this plus sign, and it's going to open how all the different features that you can use in the story. Okay, the other thing I want to mention to you guys here is I personally don't use my desktop to create my stories. I'm sure you can. I've honestly never tried. I always do it from my phone. So I would not be super helpful to be able to help you guys with that. But Trish, you're saying you can?
Yeah, so the one cool thing about doing it from your desktop is you can do a post on your profile, and you can also add it to the story. So if you want to have a long like text post or something like that with an image, you can choose to put it in both places at the same time, and Facebook will take care of that for you. And that you can all do from the desktop. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so you know, so you can see across the top here, you've got the different options that we talked about in the training, right? So you can do text, you can do music, you can do a boomerang, you can do a selfie, or you can do a poll, right? Now, if you let me save that for another training, actually, because that might be too advanced. So for the example, right, so you can also see I've got my gallery here, right? So if I want to upload a photo, I can do that. So I can just select a photo and it will go right into my story. Now, if I want to choose from a different album, I can choose from any of my albums on my phone, right? So you can actually choose from anywhere on your phone what image, if you want to use an image that you want to use. So basically all you have to do, guys, is on the far left side of your screen, tap the, you know, like I said, I'll go back here, tap that plus sign right here, and it's going to open up all the different options. Okay, so you can see if I choose the text, I can just start typing and I can just, you know, write whatever I want here. You can also change the background. So if I click on right here, it's going to open different backgrounds. So I can choose this one or this one. You know, there's actually lots of different ones that you could choose from. So you can play around with it, right? Just have some fun and play around with it. Okay, so the next option you have is the music image or option. So again, you can just click this and you can search for a specific song, right?
like I said, I love to have a sunset picture at the end of my day with some music that I put behind it. Okay. So another really cool feature, like I said, music is such a universal language. It speaks to everybody. Boomerangs are super fun. I love a good boomerang. They're, like Trish mentioned, they're really just fun and they're super quick and they make people laugh because they look really funny, right? So a boomerang, you can open that up and, I can flip my camera around and take a picture of take a boomerang and go, like how funny is that, right? And I could post that. So again, I could choose to add a sticker. So I could add a heart sticker. And then the other cool option
Yeah, that's hilarious.
is, on the right side here, you've got these different options. So you can use these options here with any one of these options. So if you choose the text, if you choose the music or boomerang or poll or anything, you can use any of these features on top of what you have, which is really cool. And like I said, just really get in here and start having some fun, play around with it. So if I click on the, sorry, I'm not sure if I showed you guys here where I clicked, the sticker, this top one, if you click here, again, there's all these different things I could add to my boomerang, right? So I can add a location that tells you, where I am. This is where I am right now. So now I've got the location there. I can add the time if I want, right? So now the time is there. I can add a GIF. This is my favorite. I love GIFs. I think they're really fun. I can add that. And now I've got a see you later on top of this funny face that I'm making. So you can see in here, I won't go through everything, but there's a lot of different things that you can use, right? So if I want music behind a picture, I choose the music. Again, if you want to tag someone, you can click that tag option and tag them that way, or you can just use the typing feature as well. You can add feelings, you can do a poll, you can do a question. And then these are just more stickers and stuff that are down here that, again, you can just pick one and add it and throw it. You can then move things around anywhere you want on your screen. Okay. And then if you want to get out of it, all you do is you just click this back arrow here.
You don't want that one?
No, I don't think I'm going to post that one. So I can keep editing or I can discard, right? And then the other really cool feature is, say I put, like, obviously I would never post this, right? There's just far too much happening here. But, if I don't want the time, let's say, I can just take this and drag it down here and there's a little garbage can. So you can just get rid of anything that you actually don't want there. Oops. One doesn't want to go away. There we go. Right. And now I'm back to just having my boomerang.
And I love, you can actually download it and save it as well.
Yeah.
So which is pretty cool because sometimes when I do it for my personal page, then I'm like, oh shoot, I want to go to Instagram. I want it on my business page. I want it on this. So if you download it, it'll actually, you can see Amber's there before where it shows that little video. If you hover over one of those where it says webinar, Amber, those are ones you downloaded, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So it'll keep it for you and it will also, you can just see so she can go back and reuse it or put it somewhere else if she wants to. And it will keep all of the information there. So that's pretty cool as well.
Yeah. And so this is a feature that I want to show you guys really quickly as well, is the poll option. So, you can do a poll. And so I love to do this all the time because, again, when people answer, it brings them right into, actually, no, sorry. If they answer a question on this poll, it doesn't actually bring them into Messenger, but it shows me which option they chose, yes or no. So what I could do is I could go in and ask and then go into Messenger with them and again say, hey, thanks for engaging on my story. I asked this question intentionally because I'm trying to find out more about whatever it is, right? I did a demonstration last night and I said, are you using attraction marketing? Okay, and then again, like Trish mentioned, you can change these answers. It's not cooperating for me. Can't get my cursor in the right spot. Okay, well, this doesn't want to work, but I could change this. So oh, there we go. So I can say something that's a little more fun, like heck yes, or, teach me or something, right? So you can change the answers that you want as well. And then again, the poll really helps you to be able to do research if you're trying to find out more about your audience or what people are looking for, or, anything like that, or even something as simple as this. Are you using attraction marketing? Because, if people aren't using attraction marketing, that's again a really great segue into having a messenger conversation with them specifically about attraction marketing, right? Because that's what you're already talking about. So that's how I've been able to really leverage the stories feature to be able to get people into conversations specifically around what I want to talk to them about. Because it doesn't make it awkward then. It doesn't feel awkward for me to start talking about my business opportunity with people when we're already talking about, network marketing or attraction marketing or something like that, because we're already on that subject. So it's not salesy, it doesn't feel spammy, and it's a very natural progression to the conversation to just continue it on a personal level.
Love
So
it.
I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing.
Yeah. So guys, if you are loving that, drop us some hearts in the comments below. Drop us some hearts. Give Amber some hearts. That is awesome, Amber. And I'm excited. Let me go ahead and add our slide deck back up here. Oh, I see lots of hearts, lots and lots of hearts coming, Amber. Love it.
Yay.
So guys, listen, do you want to know more about Facebook stories and how to use them on social media, right? Because like we talked about before, social media is constantly changing. And in order to keep up, you need to be able to do this without losing your mind, right? And so we've got you covered. And we are going to teach more of this, because if you just went out and tried to research how to use Facebook stories, it's going to send you down a rabbit hole. You're going to go to one thing, it leads to another, it leads to another. Then you're going to be hours in and you're still not even going to know what to do. And so what we want to do is, we want to offer our 7-day ultimate Facebook stories course and challenge to you. Okay. So what we are going to be doing is a 7-day Facebook stories challenge to make it fun for everybody. And to give you a little more information, let me just hold on here, tell you everything that's going to be included. You're going to get easy to follow instructions on how to create engaging Facebook stories to keep your prospects coming for more. Again, it's going to be 7 days, so you're going to get some specific story ideas for each day so that you aren't grasping for what your story should be about, because a lot of people don't use it just because they don't know what to do with it, right? We're going to show you how to use the different story features. So Amber kind of demoed them quickly, but obviously being able to go through them a little bit more and really understanding how to utilize each option is going to be beneficial to you. And it's going to help you attract more people to you for your business and get them to interact with you, all right, which is key when it comes to social media. We're going to teach you some cool story algorithm hacks so that you're able to increase your visibility and reach more people. You're going to get a fun and easy homework assignment every single day in the challenge. So each day we're going to go through a different way to use the Facebook stories, and then you're going to get an assignment for you to go out and do. Because what Ruth and I have found, and I know Amber knows this as well, is that sometimes people spend so much time learning and never doing. And honestly, you don't get good until you do. And you just don't. You have to be implementing it. So knowledge is only power, guys, if you actually put power into action, right? Otherwise, it's just knowledge. And if you don't know what to do with it and you're not implementing it, it's not helping you in any way. Because I don't think any of you are going on Jeopardy, or maybe you are, but we're not going to be talking about this, right? So knowledge is only power if you're actually going to be doing something with it. But the other thing is we're going to have a private Facebook group to connect with other marketers who do this challenge as well and get all your questions answered. So it'll be a little pop-up group on Facebook that we're going to use specific for this challenge for everyone who wants to be a part of it. So guys, if this is sounding amazing and something like you are loving, drop us, give us some thumbs ups down there in the comments, all right? Give some thumbs up. And then ultimately, the big question I know that everybody has is, how do I join the 7-day Facebook Stories challenge? How do you join it? And so if this is something you want more information, go ahead and just drop a me below, and I will get the link sent out to you today, where you can go ahead and register. This challenge is actually going to be, sorry, this challenge is going to be starting a week from Monday, which I believe is August 3rd. Let me just double check. Yeah, Monday, August 3rd is when we're going to be starting this challenge. And so you're going to have plenty of time to get registered and prepare for it. But we are going to be launching it that day, like I said, in a group. And once you get registered, you'll get all the information about this challenge. So we're hoping to see as many of you there as possible, because I know that it can be super beneficial. But again, if you want to be a part of this challenge, if you really want to learn how to leverage Facebook stories, how to use Facebook stories to really grow your business, then drop a me below and we will get the link to you. So Amber, is there anything else you want to add in?
Gosh, I don't really think so. I think we've covered. Yeah. Yeah.
So, does anybody have any questions? Guys, if you've got any questions about any of this, just drop it in here, so I'll wait for a second. And guys, listen, if you're thinking about doing the challenge, just do the challenge, right? Make yourself be accountable. And because a lot of times it's just being with that group of like-minded people that's going to make the difference for you. It's going to help you become a little more motivated. It's going to help you really want to take it to that next level. And you're going to meet new friends in the process as well. And it's really just going to help you grow as an individual, because you're actually really taking some things and implementing them. So we're excited. I see lots of me's here. Awesome. Great. I will be getting all that link out to you guys. And if you know anybody who could benefit from this, please share that information. Invite them to this group if they're not, in this group yet. Tag them in the training. And so Gustavo, yes, we are going to be starting August 3rd. That's when the challenge is going to be starting. All right. So, all right, guys. Well, if you got value from today's training, please drop us a value below. And yes, Kelsey, we are all in this together. And, the more of us that we can help win, the more of us that we can help give this profession a better name, the better that we are going to all be with this. So, Amber, thank you so much for stepping in today and joining us. Your knowledge has been great. I know people have loved every minute of it. And I just want to wish you luck on your travels and safe travels to your new location. And just be safe out there.
Yeah, so guys, stay tuned to my stories, because you will be able to follow me halfway across the country from Colorado to Seattle if you are watching my stories. The journey starts Sunday for me. So, again, something else that I can share on my story, super quick, really easy. And like Trish said, if you are on the fence about joining this challenge, just join. It's 7 days. Like, it's only 7 days of your life, right? And if you're serious about building your business online, you want to be here, because like we said, the news feed eventually is going to go away. And so you really want to leverage this time to learn this new strategy before it's your only option, and then you're stuck, right? So I would definitely get ahead of the curve, and you're going to really miss out on some awesome training if you don't join us. So obviously I'm biased, but the stories really, it's made a huge difference and impact in my business. And like I said, if you're a serious, entrepreneur building on social media, you're definitely going to want to get in on this training, because it's like I said, the hottest and newest tool that Facebook and Instagram want us to use. So when we use what they want us to use, they also reward us by showing our stuff to more people, right? So
awesome.
Yeah. So love to see you all inside of the group for our challenge starting in just a couple weeks here.
Yes, and thank you, Amber. We so appreciate the information and you joining us here today. And everybody, thanks for joining. And we will see you next week. Bye for now.